For a more in-depth plan, check out the links in the description box below. Alright, so in a previous video I talked about overusing the grip, or particularly these fingers. These are forefinger and middle finger, and you think about what medial elbow pain is, also referred to as golfer's elbow. It tends to be a lot of overuse of the grip. I never had golfer's elbow, and I never really played any golf. I mean, I played golf, but I never suffered from elbow pain from playing golf. But it tends to be, when I looked online, I'll link some articles below, that the elbow pain tends to come from, or golfer's elbow tends to come from, what do you call it? Too much, the hand in it. It's most common in the hand that you're dominant in. So if you're right-handed, you would actually, you would get golfer's elbow there. And I think that's sort of interesting because you really shouldn't, because if you're right-handed and you swing a golf club, typically the left hand is what's doing most of the work or holding it very tightly. Of course you're using both when you're doing a golf swing. But kind of what I've noticed is that when you are actually doing the work you should be, like doing accessory work like bent over rows, pull-ups, bicep curls, stuff like that, pulling movements, doing like a traditional bodybuilder back day, I think this reduces the amount of issues that's going to likelihood of injuries in the elbow. And definitely one of the things that I have been doing and neglecting was a lot of my accessory bodybuilding work, just doing squat, bench, and deadlift, because that's all I'm obsessed with. It's the only thing I really like to do. But I think because of that, what has happened is that I've built a lot of weakness in this area. And also I've also built the habit of overusing these fingers instead of using my whole hand. So as I said before, if I'm, again, this is my affected elbow that's giving me the issue. If I'm underneath here, because I've always thought, this is what I always thought that most of the elbow pain was due to a bad wrist position. So if I'm here and I'm like this, it's going to make this sort of stretch out and push this elbow out, which is probably true. But I think what happens is if I'm able to get all my fingers around here and really squeeze the bar and then get my arm and elbow back, I end up being able to use more of my shoulder and reduce a little bit of the tension in this tendon, because I'm using these, or I'm able to more evenly distribute the muscles, the tendon or the muscles in the forearm, because I'm using these fingers too, these pinky and third finger, instead of just the pointer finger and the middle finger, or an index finger and the middle finger and thumb. Another thought that comes to mind when it comes to elbow pain and squatting is sort of working the forearm flexor. So I was thinking I was going to be doing a lot of reverse curls during my deload week, a bunch of unorthodox stuff I would not normally do for my normal powerlifting goals, but that's the reason why I got this thing, as I mentioned before, to work on my forearm flexors. Actually, there you go. That way I'm like essentially like throttling a motorcycle. And speaking of motorcycles, a coworker of mine has been having a lot of elbow tendinitis or elbow issues here, basically a nerve pain. And it's been a while since I drove a motorcycle, but I know that he's been having issues on his right side because of the throttle. He drives his motorcycle to work every day. And you think about that for a moment, kind of overuse in the wrist, or the forearm extensor. These are forearm extensors. And trying to solve these issues come from strengthening them, like doing bicep curls, basically balancing the muscles around the forearm. Now, a lot of this isn't all one shot, but it's almost like a lot of the stuff that gives us issues come in daily patterns. It tends to be like a chronic thing, or things that's onset over time, reps and sets, or bad movement pattern, like me setting up under the bar. And just think about this for a second. As I kind of, as I said before, right? One of the things I've been doing to set up under the bar is I put the base of my palm on the squat rack, on the bar. Then I push myself forward, and I can't do it because it hurts. That hurts a lot right now, just doing that. Now, if I squeeze my shoulder blades together, go forward, it still hurts a lot. And why does it hurt? Because I'm loading incorrectly. If I put my hand lower, for whatever reason, that doesn't hurt as much, because I'm squeezing here on this pinky finger here. Let's go see if I squeeze a little bit harder. And interestingly enough, when I do that, there's still a little bit of tension in that elbow, this left elbow here, but it doesn't hurt as much as it did just a moment ago. But it seems to be like the setup I'm going to be playing with a week and a half from now will be getting a full grip of the bar, making sure these pinky finger and third finger is also kind of gripping the bar, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening up the chest, and then rolling forward with the bar. You can see the bar rolls forward, and then getting underneath the bar like so. and that's going to be ideal. Now whether I do open palm or open thumbs will kind of depend. So again, squeeze tight, open up posture, elbows forward. Still feels a little bit, but not too bad. It seems to be that as long as your elbows or armpits are going forward, you're going to minimize how much tension there is in the wrist and forearm, or how much you press down like this on the bar. And instead, you're basically doing this when the bar, you're basically trying to do this as you are moving the armpits forward, chest tall, while going down into a squat. And that way you're not pushing down so much, because if you're in this position here, essentially basically like what a low bar looks like this, elbows are flared back. Now that's not to say you can't be in this position. It's more like when you're in this position, you want to be active with the armpits forward. And you want to be active with the armpits forward by using the lats and the external rotators of the shoulder, and not so much the pushing down here, because that's kind of what I usually do. I'll push down on here, which is what will give me the issue. And then another thing that will sort of common that happens to me is that when I pick stuff off the ground like this kind of hurts. Just say 11-pound sandbag, this kind of hurts a little bit because this middle finger makes it so that this muscle here has to work a little harder because it's already irritated the forearm muscles. So those are some thoughts. That sort of ends my series on this topic. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some good stuff out of it. Share it with some friends. Share the series. There'll be a link in the description of each of these videos. And maybe it'll kind of give you an idea of sort of kind of what I went through, and maybe it might be something similar to you. And if you want to add to the discussion, leave a comment below. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I wanted to take a moment to tell you about a program that I recently invested in. It's called Fixing Elbow Pain by Jed and Rick. I've searched on the internet, articles, read lots of stuff, and constantly keep seeing the same mediocre videos, or videos that are helpful but don't really solve my problem. That's one of the main reasons why I've created this video series on fixing elbow pain related to to heavy squatters, because I couldn't find the exact information. Although my video series will probably help you and will give you better ideas on kind of how to prevent elbow issues and set yourself in the right position, there's still a lot more to know, like working on tissues and just understanding routines and stuff. That's why I bought this program. Fixing Elbow Pain was a really good program investment for me because it helped me just essentially understand all the avenues of kind of what to take care of, because it's not just medial elbow pain that's the problem. It's also lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow that happens in some of my clients. You soon learn that it actually has a lot more to do with overall movement pattern, and everyone has different movement deficiencies. So the reason why I'm recommending this is that it's very comprehensive, and sometimes it's actually very difficult to explain all this in a 5 to 10 minute video. And also there's like books, there's lots of videos, and it's basically a whole program that's totally worth the value if you are suffering with elbow pain. But anyways, if you'd like to learn more, take a look at the links below. Comment below if you have a question. Thanks for watching. There's one more thing I forgot to mention. Full disclosure, I am an affiliate for this program, so if you decide to purchase this product through my affiliate link in the description box, I will make a commission from it. It does help support my channel. I was actually thinking about making my own kind of rehab program for elbow pain and really putting some good information together into a product. And then I came across this, I bought it, and it was like 30 bucks, and it was freaking worth well above that cost, simply because it's just there's just a lot of information, there's lots of drills, there's lots of exercises, there's lots of explanation of what's going on, and it's totally worth it. So if I'm endorsing something that I bought, I'm endorsing something that I believe in, because the truth is there's probably a way where you can essentially go through all the videos online and kind of read a bunch of articles and maybe figure it out. This actually just kind of puts it all together for you in a very high quality package. But also be sure to check the rest of this video series on elbow pain and squats.